Inverse, multiple choice. It's a fun little game to play. Let's see, find myself a blank piece of paper upon which to do some scratchings. Okay, so here's how the game works. Oh, by the way, if you just want to check your answers, you can scrub to the last, let's say, 10 seconds of the video, and I'll just show all the answers there, so you can do that first. But I don't have them yet, because I need to do it. I think I probably have them somewhere, but who knows where. Okay, so I've got my g of x, and I want to find g inverse prime of 2. Okay, so if g inverse prime of 2, so that means there's a point 2 something on the inverse, and let's do it like this. Sorry, let me organize my information like this. Here's g inverse is a point 2 comma something, which means here there's a point something comma 2, right? Because that's what inverting does. It inverts the x and the y. So here's a point on the g function. There's a point on the g inverse function. So we just need to do a little sniffing around here. And I think I told you in the notes, in this kind of problem, it's always going to be something easy to find. Usually it's going to be an x value right in this range here from -2 to 2. That will get you this answer. So quick little bit of inspection. Looks like 1 is going to be the ticket, because 1 plus 3 minus 2 is 2. And then that would be the other point. We don't actually need to know that y value here, but it is what it is. So now if I find a g prime of x, that would be 5x to the 4th plus 3, and find g prime of 1, that's going to be 8. Then when I do the inverse, g prime inverse of 2 is, well, the slope gets flipped upside down. Rise becomes run, and vice versa, so that would be 1/8. So that is B. Alright, so see if we can build up some speed here doing these. So for number 2, on the F inverse, if I have 3 something, that goes with something 3. And let's see, what could I put in here that would get me a 3? If I put in 1's not going to work. If I put in 2, let's see, 2 cubed is 8 divided by 4, plus, so that would be 2 plus 2 minus 1. That's it. 2. Okay, so the derivative of this is 3/4 x squared plus 1. And the derivative at 2 is 2, so is it 3 plus 1 is 4. And that means that over here, my inverse prime 3 is 1/4. Number 3. I want to find, this is just that operator form of the derivative, means the same thing. So my f inverse function, I've got a point 2 comma something, which means on f, sorry, that should be inverse there, not prime, is something comma 2. So let's inspect this. Well, looks like 1's going to do it. And then f prime is 5x to the 4th plus 1, and f prime of 1 is 6. So that's going to give me over here the derivative of f inverse of x at x equals 2 is 1/6. Hope you could see all that. Sorry, I just looked at the screen. I may have been off there a little bit. Number 4. Got an h function and an h inverse function. On the h inverse function, I'm interested in the point 2 comma something, so that's point something comma 2. Let's see. Looks like 1 is going to be our guy again. Now h prime is equal to 3x squared plus 2, and so h prime of 1 is going to be 5, and that's going to give me 1/5 for my answer that I'm looking for here, which is A. Oh, just kidding, C. It's an answer here too. In number 5, I've got an f function and its inverse. Interested in the point f inverse of 5, so 5 comma something, so something comma 5. Well, in this one, this is a little different. I don't have a recipe like this for the function. I have a function rule, but they did just tell me f of 4 is 5. So, well, there it is. So that's 4 here. And then f prime of 4, they told me that that's 2/3. So bringing that back over to the other side to find my derivative, I'm cutting a little bit of notation out here in the interest of expedition. So that's 3/2, which is answer choice D. And 6. Hold on 1 second. Turn on my phone. Hello? I will call. Can you ask him if I can call him back in about 10 minutes? If you could get it. Thanks. Sorry, folks. I'm a busy guy. But I'm not going to leave you. You guys are number 1. Important thing. Number 6. Let's see. Where are we at here? So this is kind of like the last one. I got a g function, and it looks like I want the inverse of that at 3, the derivative of the inverse at 3. So here's g. The inverse, interested in that point on the inverse, 3 comma something. So something comma 3 on the g function, looks like it's 7 comma 3. And that derivative at 7, hopefully they told me it's 3/4. You notice in these ones they give you like this decoy value that might trip you up. So 4/3, which is answer choice D. So there's your first page of answers. All right. And another piece of paper, and moving on to the second page. All right, number 7. Got my f function, and g is the inverse, and I'm interested in the point 2 comma something on the inverse, which corresponds to something comma 2. Looks like -1. We'll get the job done there. And so let's see, what's f prime is going to be 12x cubed plus 1, and then f prime of negative 1 is negative 12 plus 1, that's negative 11. And then when I bring that over here to find the slope of g, g is the inverse, so I don't need to write the little negative 1 because they told us g is the inverse. That's going to be negative 1/11, which is answer choice B. All right. G is the inverse function of f, so I got my f and g. What is the value of g prime of 0? So let's see, there's point 0 comma something here, which means there's a point something comma 0 here. Looks like negative 1 again is going to work for us. And so what is f prime? It's 5x to the 4th. What is f prime of negative 1? It's 5. And so g prime of 0, the corresponding point on the inverse, rise and run will get inverted, and it will be 1/5, which is answer choice B. Ooh, look at all that stuff in this table. Alright, so let's see if we can do this. So h is the name of the inverse function of f. So I've got f and then this capital H function. On the h function, I'm interested in what's going on at the point 3 comma whatever. On the f function, I need the point something comma 3. So looking at the table, I want to know where the value of the f function is 3. So something comma 3. So the something is 2. When you plug in 2 for x, you get 3. Alright, and so I need to know what's f prime of 2. So looking at that table again, when x is 2, f prime is 1. And when you flip 1 over, you get 1. So the answer is E. And if you're wondering what's up with all the G stuff, well, that table was lifted from something else. So we didn't need it for this problem. Let's see about this one. I've got an h and an f function again. So I don't know if this is confusing to you or not, but if two functions are inverses, then they're inverses of each other. So you can put these whichever way you want. In other words, I could also have set this up. You could say, like here's the h function and here's the f inverse, like the inverse of each other. But I think it sets up better if we do it like this. So, and the h function is the inverse, so I don't need to put that little thing there. It was unnecessary and wrong. So I'm interested in the point on the h function that's 1 comma whatever. And that means I'm interested in the point on the f function that is whatever comma 1. So what's the whatever? Well, it's a table again, so I need to see what to plug in when I get. So 0 looks like 0, 1. It's going to be the point. So then I need to know what f prime of 0 is. F prime of 0 is negative 1. And when you flip that over, it's h prime of 1 is going to be negative 1 because I flip it over. And that is answer choice E again. Alright, so as advertised, here are all the answers for the first page. The answers are B, C, D, C, D, D. And on the second page, B, B, E, E. Alrighty.